is you have to decide what are the theme for the activity first. Okay, then after this, bila you dah decide the activity, maybe for this week you choose kayak for example. Perhaps another 1 month you have a problem musim tengkujuh for example, then you have to change to another activity. It's okay as long as it still remain under the same tema tu tadi, right? You only decide what types of the themes that you are going to choose, and then the activity it can be changed according to the environment and your conditions. Okay, especially for those who are choosing the traditional games tu, dia macam ni, it must come with a package. Kalau especially on traditional game lah, saya tak nak you buat one sort of activity je. Contohnya batu seremban, then you main batu seremban. No, I mean you have to have at least a combination of 3 to 4 activity traditional game. So meaning to say that when you have that activity, you have to explain lah. What is exactly this activity, right? Then how to play that activity, for example. What are the strategy? What are the approach, for example? So at least you have that kind of information, because I know that the traditional games is very easy for you to conduct that activity. Right, so please find or please consider to have your creativity on that particular games tu tadi. Right? Any question? Saya nampak ramai yang cuma you tak on camera you. As I mentioned last week, dia macam ni lah. Since this is our new norm for us, okay, online classes. So I think I don't have to remind you every time, every classes lah. Okay, you have your own responsibility. Saya pun bukan nak jadi polis yang nak caught you if you don't attend the class. Okay, attendance that yang you terpaksa apply sekarang, scan QR code is part of the university requirement. So I have to follow that requirement. Jadi if let's say at that particular week too you have a problem, for example especially the common problem ni adalah internet lah. Okay, network connection you poor and everything. But as for me, if you really have your problem, personal problem, you just text me personally saying that I'm sorry I can't attend the class tonight. Okay, I think I have no problem. Okay, as long as you know that your responsibility. Saya takkan marah you, saya takkan potong markah ke whatsoever. As long as I mentioned, you have to time to miss from this class. Okay, it's up to you. But I just need your response, your cooperation to give me a response when I have to ask you something or to get your feedback. Right? Saya tak nak nanti saya bercakap seorang-seorang bla 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 bla, towards the end orang lain duk tengok movie, duk tengok cerita dekat TV and so on. Okay, your responsibility to make sure that you get all the ideas, all the information bila you register for this course untuk you belajar. Right? My responsibility is to deliver the message, to deliver the information to you, and your responsibility is to get that information. As simple as that. Alright? Is it okay? Okay. So right from this week saya takkan paksa you, either you nak open your on your camera or not, you want to show off your face or not, it's up to you. Right? But I know that those who are really focused ataupun those who are just play around with the games only. Okay? Alright. If everybody ready, then we will start our class tonight. So basically, saya rasa most of you dah pernah attend my class previously as face to face, right? Travel and tours class hari tu. And perhaps last semester pun is just 2-3 weeks saya take over and then saya hand over to new lecturers. Okay, so my approach is simple. We will start with a brainstorming punya session 10 minutes before the class. Yeah, before we start our lecture, we have to recap. Okay, the previous topic that we already discussed. Okay, so that you can get the continuous the connection between previous topic dengan this week topics, right? So since this is our first week punya topic, so I hope that you get ready. I already upload all the notes, slide, everything. Notes 2 days ago, and then the slide I uploaded today because that is something that I have to add and remove and everything, right? So now saya akan present slide. Kalau you tak nampak that slide tu, let me know. Okay. Oh, nanti you have to capture your pictures ataupun you have to capture something to prove that you attend this class. Right after the class, I will give you the Google Form punya link. So you have to fill up the Google Form punya information as well as you have to attach the evidence to show that you attend the class. Right? Just capture and save in Word JPEG ke PDF ke, and then you upload in Google Form. Okay, so now can you see the slide? Not yet? No? Last tu pun tak nampak?
Tak.
Nampak.
Dah nampak ke belum?
Dah ada.
Nampak dah.
Nampak? Okay, so both classes you boleh nampak slide Okay, today our first topic is the foundations of leisure and recreation. Okay, so what we are going to discuss about okay, I heard that someone on your mic. Can you switch off? Okay. Can you ask your friends to turn off your camera, your mic? Okay, thank you. All right. We will start our topic. All right. This chapter we present and discuss a comprehensive value. A comprehensive view of the multi-phase expansive field of recreation and leisure. Okay. Okay, we have three main topic that we will discuss tonight. The first is what is the definitions of the terms, and we will discuss in what is the interrelationship between leisure, recreation, and play. Right? The second topic that we are going to discuss is contemporary concept of leisure and recreation. And the last topic is about career and pathway in leisure and recreation industry. So as for your information, here I share with you, this is the main textbooks that we are going to use for this course. Okay, you can find these books online. You just Google or you get it through library UMK punya website. on e-books. Okay. Kalau saya laju ataupun my voice maybe not clear for you, directly let me know. Do not send a message because once I start presentation, saya tak boleh nak baca message. So, is it clear class A? Pula dah. Ni sekarang pun tak boleh nampak. Kelas B pun tak nampak.
Saya nampak.
Nampak.
Nampak dah?
Nampak.
Yang nampak tu kelas apa? Kelas A ke kelas B?
Kelas B.
Kelas B nampak. So kelas A tak nampak? Oh, so kelas A tak nampak ni? Okey, sekejap Sekejap. Saya try. Okay, sekarang ni kelas B you nampak screen Google Meet kan? Both of classes you nampak Google Meet punya screen kan? Okay, so now kalau saya show the slide, you nampak ke tak?
Tak nampak apa pun.
Saya nampak gelap.
Okay. Tapi you boleh you boleh ni dekat e-com slide tu. Okay, let me check. Sebab tadi awal you boleh nampak slide.
Ya, saya boleh nampak.
Boleh.
Kelas B tadi you boleh nampak slide.
Boleh, doktor.
Boleh.
Okay, now sekarang you boleh nampak screen Google Meet. Tak boleh, dua-dua kelas tak nampak. Okay, still tak boleh nampak slide Alright, saya dah present. Boleh nampak lagi tak slide?
Boleh.
Tak boleh juga. I'm not sure what is the problem. Tapi now di screen you ada Google Meet punya screen kan?
Yes.
Okay, tapi you tak nampak slide.
Tak.
Dah nampak, doktor.
Nampak sudah, madam.
Kelas B nampak.
Dah nampak dah?
Ya, nampak.
Okay, so saya tak boleh nak slide show lah. Saya just ni kan slide je. Okay, now okay, boleh saya start dan you dah nampak slide Okay. Now we go to the introduction of leisure and recreation. Okay guys, what do you understand about leisure and recreation? You pernah dengar perkataan leisure? Pernah dengar perkataan recreation? Okay, pernah. But do you know what is definitions of both terms, leisure and recreation? Then what is the differences between leisure and recreation? Okay, these topics, these questions saya akan set dalam e-learning, which those who are in a tutorial L1, T1, L1, T2 tomorrow night, right? Saya akan bagi you QR code untuk tutorial class tomorrow night. Okay, pukul 8 sampai pukul 9, then another class is 9 to 10 o'clock. Okay, untuk L1 T3 saya rasa yang yesterday punya tutorial tu, not yesterday, hari apa? Yesterday lah. Okay, so you juga jawab soalan dalam e-learning, right? So I will open that session tu from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Okay, 2 hours untuk you jawab soalan tutorial. Then you have to scan QR code as your attendance for tomorrow night. Okay, so nanti you akan masukkan that answers dalam tutorial e-learning. Okay. Okay. So now we move to next slide. What is leisure? Okay, leisure is a free time that can be spent as you see fit. Okay, maksudnya masa lapang yang you boleh spend, yang you boleh adakan bila you rasa you perlukan, right? Leisure juga is an activities that making up your unstructured free time. So meaning to say activity yang you buat pada masa yang tidak dirancang, right? Leisure is a freedom from time consuming duties, responsibility or activity. So, leisure ni adalah satu kebebasan, time, masa yang you tidak terikat in any tugasan, tanggungjawab ataupun sebarang aktiviti. That's what we call it leisure. That's why some people say, okay, do you have a leisure time? Okay, that's the formal word, we call it leisure. But nowadays people prefer to use the word, kau ada masa, kau free tak? Are you free? Or do you have anything to do right now? So it's more on that particular sentence yang people will ask you. But basically all this situation is come as a leisure. Okay, leisure is not necessarily planned use of time, but not necessarily waste time. Maksudnya, when we talk about leisure ni, dia tak semestinya you gunakan sepenuhnya masa tu, dan you juga tidaklah semestinya untuk membazirkan masa. Maksudnya bila kita kata activity leisure ni, dia mesti satu masa yang you tidak plan, yang you tidak terikat dengan aktiviti, dan you hanya buat pada masa you memerlukan sesuatu aktiviti itu. Alright. So, leisure adalah to permit or to allow, untuk membenarkan ataupun untuk to permit, untuk mengadakan. Okay, permission, kebenaran to do as one please at one own pace to participate in an activity of one choice and to abandon the activity at will. Maksudnya satu kebenaran, in other ways, leisure ni adalah bila you buat pada masa yang you rasa you perlukan, dan you buat tanpa perlu diarahkan ataupun terikat dengan sesuatu perkara. Okay, itu yang what we call it leisure. Dalam bahasa Melayu, leisure ni adalah senggang, masa senggang you. Okay. Alright, now we go to the next terms, recreation. Okay, rekreasi. maybe some people said rekreasi adalah aktiviti luar, right? In the formal term, rekreasi ni dia dibuat pada masa leisure, pada masa senggang. Okay, which recreation ni adalah suatu yang interesting. Okay, satu yang menarik, more enjoyable and more personal satisfying. Maksudnya you buat dalam sesuatu yang menarik, sesuatu yang menggembirakan you dan sesuatu yang memuas diri you sendiri. Okay, so recreation ni can include sport, physical recreation, artistic, kreatif, banyak. Okay, and recreation is not limited to a collection of activity. It is an attitude towards living and a state of mind. So satu perkara yang you buat tu juga tidak memerlukan untuk merancang sesuatu perkara tu. Okay, so aktiviti rekreasi normally dibuat pada masa senggang yang ada dalam kehidupan you. Okay, to that stage, semua orang boleh dengar suara saya dengan clear? Okay.
Boleh, Megan, boleh.
Kelas B,
Boleh.
okay?
Boleh.
So kalau suara saya terputus or anything problem in between of saya bercakap, just let me know, okay? Okay, now we go to the next topic, the purpose of recreation. There are 3 purpose of recreation. Okay, first adalah to assist, untuk bantu individual and community development, pembangunan community. To assist ni maksudnya ialah kalau you tak sihat, by having recreation activity, you become more healthy and it will assist you to have a better life, right? Number 2, recreation can improve the quality of life. And number 3, to enhance social functioning. Kalau you perasan, through activity rekreasi lah you akan ada social time with your friends. That's why you akan ada a group of people who are interested to cycling. Okay, berbasikal. Berbasikal is part of rekreasi activity and can be your part of your assignment as well. Kalau you ada group of cycling for example, ataupun you ada group memang a group of member you memang suka hiking. Okay, ataupun you memang ada geng-geng you yang suka fishing, okay, memancing for example. This is where you can enhance the social functioning you. Instead of you duduk di rumah alone ataupun you don't have any activity, then you have more enjoyable by having a social activity with your friends. Okay, so this is what we call it recreation. So these 2 terms, leisure and recreation. Okay, why is recreation and parks important? Okay, kenapa rekreasi dan taman tu tidak boleh dipisahkan? Bila orang kata taman, mesti orang akan kata rekreasi, taman rekreasi ataupun taman apa? Taman activity. So dia akan ada kecuali taman orchid, taman bunga, but people still looking for the activity. Yang pertama, because recreation and park is a basic and an essential part of our personal healthy life. Okay, that's why as I mentioned just now, by having recreation activity, then you have that quality of life. Okay, and you have the social functioning with your friends. Number 2, because of an investment for life and contribute to an overall net reduction in public health. Okay, maksudnya dia adalah satu pelaburan dalam kehidupan kita dan dia akan menyumbang kepada keseluruhan pengurangan dalam masalah kesihatan awam, keamanan, sosial dan sebagainya. Number 3, because of parks ni adalah satu open space and natural space yang mana critically important places in which recreation is experienced. Sebab bila adanya park, taman-taman negara, tempat-tempat yang terbuka dan sumber alam semula jadi, maka dia adalah satu kawasan which can give you more experience, pengalaman kepada aktiviti rekreasi. Okay, number 4, recreation and parks important because it is essential to ecological sustainability. When we talk about recreation, basically people try to preserve and conserve our nature instead of we are trying to 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 get everything lost from our nature and natural resources in our country. Okay, so this is four elements or four reasons why recreation and parks important. Okay, and then additional info is essential to personal health, key balance to human development. It's also essential to individual and societal quality of life, reduce self-destructive and antisocial behavior, reduce healthcare, and build strong families and healthy community. Okay. All right. Just now we already discussed the definitions of the leisure and recreation. Now we go to the third terms. This is what we call it play ataupun permainan ataupun mainan, right? So play can be considered human behavior that is self-motivated and done for its own sake. Maksudnya dia dianggap sebagai satu kelakuan manusia yang memotivasikan dan dia dibuat adalah untuk kepentingan diri sendiri. Okay, so when we talk about play ni, something related to behavior, cara hidup, gaya hidup orang, kelakuan diri kita sendiri. Play ni is not motivated by extrinsic factor. Dia bukannya dipengaruhi oleh faktor-faktor luaran. Play adalah is a pleasurable and play may appear to a lack structure. However, it have rules and expected behavior. Okay, let me show you a video to give you a better picture on what is leisure, recreation, and play. Saya rasa kalau you cannot get the video dalam Google Meet ni, you boleh buka dalam slide dia. I'm not sure, you boleh dengar ke video ni? Boleh dengar ke? Oh, okay. Orang lain, you nampak slide ke ataupun you ada memang tak nampak apa-apa?
Nampak
Oh, daripada
tapi
tadi tu memang you tak nampak apa-apa slide?
Saya nampak.
Nampak tapi tak bergerak.
Tak bergerak.
Nampak slide pertama je.
Macam gambar.
Dekat intro je.
Okay. Oh, you ada yang nampak, ada yang tak nampak. Sekarang ni yang nampak you dekat slide mana?
Dekat introduction. Nombor 3, slide nombor 3. Introduction.
Lah, slide tu ke? Saya dah slide nombor 13 dah. Saya dekat slide nombor 11 dah, nombor 13 dah. Tak, tapi you bear with me kan? You tahu slide mana yang saya tengah discuss kan? Okay, so kalau gitu you boleh tengok slide, you boleh tengok video dalam you punya slide. Okay, sekarang saya dekat slide 13. Okay, Sekejap, saya tengah restructure balik presentation tadi. Saya tak sure kenapa dia Okay, kelas tu you boleh nampak slide kan? Hello? Okay, semua orang boleh nampak slide kan?
Buka slide sendiri.
Saya tersekat ke kamera saya?
Kamera meter black out.
Saya
Boleh.
saya tersekat-sekat nampak macam.
You tak nampak slide eh?
Dah tak nampak dah. Baru nampak balik.
Boleh madam.
Okay, kelas D you nampak slide?
Boleh madam.
Boleh.
Kelas A you tak nampak slide? Dua-dua kelas dah nampak eh? Okay, can we proceed? Okay, sorry. Saya punya connection lost tadi. Can you hear me?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes,
Tak slide
madam.
kan? Okay, sekejap eh. Okay, now saya share screen slide. Can you see my slide? Kelas B, you boleh nampak slide saya? Kelas
Boleh
A?
doktor.
Okay, sekarang saya move to next slide. Dia bergerak ke tak?
Bergerak doktor.
Bergerak. Bergerak.
Bergerak Alhamdulillah. Penatlah layan ke network ni. Okay, kita kat mana tadi? Three main terms kan? Tiga perkara, three main ideas, terms yang kita dah discuss. Leisure, recreation and play. Okay, sekarang ni saya nak kita tengok each of these term ni dia akan ada interconnection, okay, antara leisure, recreation and play. Okay. So, basically apa yang kena ada dalam leisure, you must meet these three criteria. Okay, saya dekat slide number 15, right? 15. Okay, these three criteria, experience is a state of mind, leisure must be entered into voluntary and it must be intrinsically motivated. Maksudnya, when we talk about leisure ni, is a time after compulsory activity. Masa senggang dibuat selepas sesuatu aktiviti yang wajib dibuat. Contohnya pukul 8 sampai pukul 5 petang, you have your own structured work ataupun you ada kerja you sendiri dan you are employees. Jadi 8 to 5 adalah compulsory works, that one kita tak boleh, we cannot consider as a leisure time. Sebab tu orang kata masa bekerja is bekerja. Okay, do not do out of your job scope. Okay, habis je 5 PM, barulah you can do your leisure activity ataupun you can do your recreation activity. Sebab tu after 5 orang akan pergi jogging, orang akan pergi gym, orang akan tengok pergi taman, bawa anak-anak and etc. Okay, because this is what we call it leisure time. Okay, kalau recreation, slide number 16, is the use of time in a manner designed for therapeutic refreshment of one body and mind. Sebab tu kalau orang kata you dah penat bekerja 8 to 5, after 5 tu you have to do the recreation activity. Sebab recreation activity ni lah yang akan memulihkan, okay, pemikiran you. Kalau you stress dengan kerja, maka masa aktiviti rekreasi ni lah you release your stress, you have your social networking dengan your friends and even you can meet a new friends during recreation punya activity. Okay, play pula ada 4 elemen yang perlu ada. Yang pertama observe, orient, analyze and innovation. Observe is more focused on child activity. Okay, maksudnya aktiviti anak-anak, you bawa anak-anak ke taman is part of a play activity. Play is not much an activity as a form of behavior. It can occur during work or leisure time and it must be concerned by parents and educators. So nanti saya akan tunjukkan you. Okay, slide number 18. Slide number 18. Okay, ini yang kita panggil interrelationship between leisure, recreation and play. Okay, kalau you tengok dekat bulatan bulat ni, okay, bulatan bulat ni, di tengah-tengah ni kita panggil pleasure. It's a combination of leisure, recreation and play. Okay, so I think last 2 semester, this question come in your final exam. Okay, discuss the interrelationship between leisure, recreation and play. Okay, so now as you can see from this interrelationship, okay, if you remember the definition and the concept of play, leisure and recreation, semua aktiviti rekreasi can be done, okay, can be done in leisure activity. Okay, maksudnya semua aktiviti rekreasi yang you buat, you main bola ke, you pergi bersenam ke, you buat zumba ke, you buat any aktiviti rekreasi, all of these activity can be done in leisure time. Maksudnya dibuat dalam masa senggang you. Okay, tapi tidak semua aktiviti leisure ni boleh dibuat pada masa rekreasi. So this is what we call it interrelationship. Jadi kalau you tengok from these pictures ni, dia punya connection dia tu, okay, yang ni, this is more clear, okay, the relationship between leisure, recreation and play. Okay, so yang kuning ni, slide number 19, yang kuning ni adalah play, yang hijau ni adalah recreation, and the biggest cycle ni adalah leisure. So continuing education, religious practice, community service is part of leisure activity. Okay, which kalau you tengok daripada circle ni, work time ni adalah out of leisure activity. Okay, so yang ni yang saya kata tadi, maksudnya play and recreation ni can be done in leisure activity. Tapi semua leisure activity ni tidak boleh dilakukan dalam masa rekreasi ataupun pada masa you buat aktiviti rekreasi ataupun pada masa you buat aktiviti bersama dengan anak-anak dan juga di luar daripada aktiviti rekreasi you. Okay, so ini ada 3 perkara yang you kena highlight bila when we talk about relationship among leisure, recreation and play. Okay, yang pertama, how they do that activity, when they do the activity, and the last one is what are the activities required for leisure, recreation and play. Okay, so with these topics, okay, kita dah habis the first topic ni, the definition and the relationship between leisure, recreation and play. Do you have any question ataupun something that you want to raise up or you want to share? You are most welcome, class A or class B. Anyone who volunteer to recap or to share something? What do you understand about leisure, recreation and play? Anyone who want to volunteer to share? Okay, ada siapa-siapa yang nak share? Atau we just recap, what do you understand about leisure, recreation and play? Mana Aslam Saya tak nampak Aslam lagi since last week. Oh, ada. Saya tahu you tak buka gambar sebab rambut you panjang, betul? Saya tahu you tak payahlah nak simpan rambut panjang sebab saya takut nanti bila you kena balik kampus you akan menangis nak kerat rambut. So lebih baik you jangan simpan rambut sebelum you kena menangis nak kena potong rambut. Okay, tahu tak apa. For sure you akan menangis kalau you kena potong rambut sebab you will be called by the university at any time. So just get prepared. Kalau you have to get back to the campus, so you baliklah. Okay, at the moment ni enjoy your life lah dekat rumah you. You boleh lah nak main-main lagi, nak kerja ke whatsoever. Right after they call you back to campus, then you have to get prepared. Okay, before that, before we proceed to the next topic ni, tomorrow night, I'm not sure whether tutorial L1 T1, L1 T2. I think all of you are involved in tutorial punya session tomorrow night. Jadi cumanya untuk L1 yang kelas 8 to 9, saya akan bagi you QR code yang berbeza. QR code you dulu 8 to 9, and then after that 9 to 10 saya akan bagi another QR code. Okay, jadi you scan dulu untuk 8 to 9, and then kelas 9 to 10 tu buat soalan e-learning tu simultaneously lah 8 to 10 o'clock. Tapi you punya attendance tu you scan according to your tutorial punya timing tu. Okay, untuk yang tutorial L1 T3 tu you answer the question first. Okay, because you punya tutorial class you every Monday kan? Ke Thursday you punya tutorial class? Monday kan? Alright, jadi sepatutnya semalam jadi jadi you akan jawab je soalan tu besok, and then attendance tu is based on you punya jawapan dalam e-learning. Okay, so following week baru saya akan start untuk tutorial QR code untuk tutorial yang Monday punya classes. Okay, alright, so kalau you tak ada apa-apa soalan untuk that topic, then we move to second topic, the concept of leisure and recreation. Okay, sekarang ni you boleh nampak slide lagi ya. Okay, so saya move to the next topic, contemporary concept of leisure. Okay, now we go to the slide 22. Okay, alright, now we discuss on the concept of leisure. Ada 4 main concept for leisure. Yang pertama is about social experience. Number 2 is about the free time. Number 3 is a recreational activity. And number 4 is a lifestyle. Okay, so leisure ni the refreshment of one mind or body after work through activity that amuse or stimulate. Maksudnya aktiviti leisure ni adalah suatu perkara yang boleh menenangkan you, yang boleh menyegarkan minda badan you daripada tugasan, okay, daripada kepenatan, daripada level of stress yang ada dalam diri you. So itu yang kita panggil masa senggang atau aktiviti senggang. That's why dia relate dengan social experience. Bagaimana pengalaman you untuk bersosial antara you and your friends, as well as between you and your family. Leisure ni, masa senggang ni dibuat pada masa you free saja. You tak perlu nak bayar that particular time untuk you buat aktiviti tu. Okay, let me ask you, watching television is a leisure or recreation activity? Okay, so maksudnya leisure ni adalah masa you buat without, you are not being forced to do that activity. Okay, kalau tidur, is a leisure or recreation activity? Alright, so maksudnya leisure ni adalah aktiviti yang you tak perlu nak bayar pun. Okay, you don't have to spend your money, you don't have to spend your time. Maksudnya dia dibuat pada masa yang unstructured, yang tidak dirancang. Tapi kalau recreation adalah something yang most probably recreation ni adalah something masa yang activity yang you perlu rancang. Okay, that's why you kata okay 5 o'clock saya kena pergi gym. 5 o'clock saya kena pergi main bola. Because the only way to release your stress, to release to stimulate your body, your mind adalah melalui recreation activity. Okay, itu beza recreation and leisure. While leisure ni macam you kata you tengok TV. You tak perlu pun nak cakap kecuali you dah set pukul 7 you nak tengok TV. Then you can go for the watching television. But it's more likely even you tak tengok TV pun you takkan rasa apa-apa kerugian. Kalau you tengok TV pun you tak rugi apa-apa. But if you watch that television that particular time tu, it may be stimulate your mind and it will refresh your body. Okay, ini dua konsep between leisure and recreation. Okay, now we move to next slide. Leisure as a state of mind. There are 3 elemen dalam a state of mind. Maksudnya ialah ada satu pemikiran yang ada dalam diri manusia. Yang pertama, when we talk about leisure, is a freedom, kebebasan. Macam saya cakap tadi, nobody force you. Tak ada orang paksa you suruh tidur. Okay, you tidur sekarang, kecuali kanak-kanak, budak-budak. Okay, or else sekarang pun kalau orang tak suruh you tidur pun you akan tidur. Stress lah, tak boleh lah nak buat kerja ni, then you go for sleeping. Okay, maksudnya kebebasan. Nobody force you, then you don't have to pay to do that activity. Right? Okay, yang kedua, it must come with satisfaction. Kepuasan dalam diri you. Okay, itu kita panggil leisure. That's why bila orang paksa you tidur, dia takkan datang dengan kepuasan. Because you are being forced to do that activity. Dan number 3, leisure mesti you engage in activity during a free time. Maksudnya leisure ni masa senggang itu mesti dibuat sesuatu aktiviti. Macam tadi dah tengok TV, makan, tidur, even bermain telefon, even bermain game, bermain telefon pun is part of leisure activity. Because tak ada orang yang paksa you main game kecuali you sendiri yang nak main game. Right? So that's why you akan buat aktiviti itu untuk release you punya stress. Okay? Ini konsep yang kita panggil sebagai leisure as a state of mind, pemikiran kita. Okay, leisure juga can be an attitude. Okay, satu attitude apa? Tingkah laku. Right? Tingkah laku kita sendiri. Kalau kita dah set our mindset that okay, setiap pukul 4 petang aku kena tidur. Maka pukul 4 petang you can go for sleeping without people ask you ataupun it is unstructured. Tapi you akan buat because that one considered as your attitude. Okay, number 2, leisure is subjective. Some people think that leisure in that particular perspective. The other side, they see leisure based on their own perspective. So it's subjective. It cannot be measured. Right? Okay, number 3, leisure is a way of life. Adalah satu kehidupan, cara hidup seseorang itu. Alright? Leisure juga adalah philosophy about living. Satu keadaan tentang kehidupan seseorang tu. That's why kalau orang kata go for recreation, go for leisure activity can make you better quality of life. Okay, akan bagi you quality hidup yang lebih bermakna. Instead of after 5, after working, even after you do that any assignment, you only can stand for at least 1 hour. Okay, selepas dia sejam you buat kerja depan laptop, make sure that you go out from your particular area tu, you pergilah buat aktiviti lain or else you main game dulu 10 minutes. Then you can continue for your assignment ataupun your reading ataupun you can focus on your job. Saya share dengan you is based on the research. Okay, people can focus in any particular assignment ataupun their own job. Dia punya period, dia punya time frame dia is based on your age. Kalau umur you 22 tahun for example, you can only focus on your job for less than 20 to 30 minutes only. Selepas je masa tu 30 minit tu you buat kerja pun you akan lost 10%, 20%, 30%. That's why saya kata paling lama pun, the longest that you can stay at least 1 hour je. After 1 hour, kalau you buat discussion ke whatsoever, you have to stop, ask everybody, get out from your area tu, you bangunlah berjoget ke, minum air ke, tidur ke sekejap, or else you have to play a game. Okay, rest for 10 minutes. Then after that, you baru masuk balik untuk your discussion. It will give you, it will stimulate your ideas and your body as well. You cannot do that activity more than 2 hours at one time. Kalau you buat that activity for last 2 hours, at the end of the day, you punya mindset akan lose, and then you cannot get the quality of your jobs. Okay, so remember that. Bila you buat PPTA ke, you buat ke any assignment, even classes pun kalau boleh not more than 2 hours. So tadi kita dah habis 1 hour, 8 o'clock to 9 PM. Saya rasa kita dah break sikit-sikit. So if you need that refreshment ke apa-apa ke, you can go to your kitchen, buat air you sendiri, ambil lah biskut, cicah ke whatsoever. Okay, because this is online learning, saya pun tak boleh nak halang you nak makan ke, as long as you focus, you know that you are currently in e-learning punya classes. Right? Okay, we move to the next slide. Leisure as a free time. Macam saya cakap tadi lah, leisure ni you tak perlu nak bayar pun to do that activity. Right? Leisure as a recreational activity. Okay, recreational activity dibuat pada masa yang lapang, pada masa pada masa senggang lah, pada masa yang you tak perlu pun nak fikirkan apa-apa yang lain. Right? Leisure adalah a lifestyle, satu kehidupan. Okay, people express their lifestyle through the choice of they make. Okay, that's why dia cuba untuk you have to express, you kena keluarkan, or you have to show you punya lifestyle you throughout the activity that you are doing. Okay, for example, macam atlet, lifestyle dia adalah dengan sukan. So kalau sehari dia tak buat aktiviti sukan tu, dia almost lost dia punya mindset dia, because that their lifestyle. Kalau macam you tak pernah buat aktiviti sukan, for example, but at the time given tu, tiba-tiba you rasa macam, aku kena buat sukan. Jadi tiba-tiba you yang akan rasa nak gila because you terpaksa buat aktiviti sukan. Okay, this is what we call it leisure as a lifestyle. Okay, sehingga setakat tu, do you still with me ataupun you dah lost your mind, your body? Class A, okay? Class B, okay? Okay, kalau you rasa mengantuk tu saya tak boleh nak cakap apa lah kan. You buatlah aktiviti sendiri. That's why saya cakap you maybe boleh turn off your camera ataupun you bangunlah berjoget ke, buatlah apa-apa yang you rasa boleh menenangkan, merefreshkan you punya mind, you punya body. I know that this is lecture punya session. Basically bila you ada lecture, you cannot have your leisure time, because leisure time is only can be done during your outside of your obligation timing you tu. Tapi because of saya nak make sure that you can still focus on this class, so I'm allow you to do that any activity as long as you still focus. You tak perlu kalau you rasa mengantuk ke whatsoever ke, you bolehlah buat coffee ke, or else you bangun macam saya cakap tadi lah. Except please do not play a game during our class. Okay, itu saja. The rest you can do any activity, right, to make sure that you can stay focused. Okay, so we just recap. So we already discussed on the concept of leisure. Okay, yang pertama, leisure is a state of mind. Okay, leisure as a free time, leisure as a recreativity, and the last one, leisure as a lifestyle. Okay, leisure can improve a person overall lifestyle. Itulah cara-cara you have to do that activity. That's why bila saya ask you to do assignment on recreation activity tu, I hope that you can do some to your lifestyle. Okay, you don't have to force yourself. Kalau you tak boleh nak hiking, don't force yourself to do hiking. Ask anyone in your group members to do that activity on behalf of yourself. Right? Okay, now we move to last slide for this second topic. Okay, this is something 5 factors needed to experience the leisure. Maksudnya 5 faktor ni you perlu untuk you dapatkan pengalaman kepada suatu masa senggang tu. Right? Yang pertama adalah freedom, kebebasan. As we discussed just now, nobody force you to do that activity. Kalau orang paksa you untuk buat satu kerja tu, maka you tak akan dapat rasa that kind of freedom, kebebasan tu. Yang kedua, it perceive competency, which dia akan bagi you satu keadaan untuk competent, untuk menunjukkan kemampuan you, kebolehan you untuk buat sesuatu perkara. Right? Number 3 is more on intrinsic motivation. Faktor motivasi dalaman you. Apa yang membuatkan you rasa you termotivasi? For example, some people do activity rekreasi because of they want to lose their weight. Okay? Ada orang nak kurangkan berat badan, or else you want the lifestyle, the healthy lifestyle. So this is what we call it the intrinsic motivation in your life. Okay, number 4, you need experience is because of the positive effect. Okay, of course kalau benda tu jadi satu negatif, you cannot involve on that particular activity. Number 5 is a locus of control. Okay, the level of how long or the level of people punya control in your life. Okay, so this is 5 element or 5 factors needed to experience untuk dapatkan pengalaman as a leisure. Okay, so basically for this topic, the first topic ni kita I just want to introduce to you these 3 main terms ni, because leisure, recreation, play ni dia satu elemen yang very basic. Okay, kalau orang tanya you after that, what is leisure? Apa yang you belajar tentang senggang? Apa yang you belajar tentang rekreasi? So this is something, the elements, maybe sebelum ni you tak tahu. Leisure is a state of mind, is a pemikiran kita. Jadi maybe lepas ni you can simply say share with your friends. Okay, lepas ni we only talk about leisure, or we just discuss about the leisure. Okay, you don't have to ask me either I'm free or not. You just ask me, do you have a leisure time, for example? Alright, so meaning that people know, oh, these guys, they're familiar with the word of leisure. Okay, same goes to recreation, activity rekreasi. Orang akan nampak when we talk about rekreasi is more on outdoor activity. But basically rekreasi is not restricted to the outdoor. But indoor activity also can be considered as a recreation activity, right? So remember on that particular words. Okay, so I think we can move to the last topic. Our main the third main topics is the career and pathway in leisure and recreation. Okay, I think last week pun saya dah tanya you, what is your expectation for this course, right? Normally because your batch ni, you akan ada 2 option. Either you want to choose rekreasi dengan, dia ada courses tu apa nama dia? Isu semasa ke yang you ambil option yang kedua tu? Oh, okay. Trend dan konsep in tourism. Okay. So you can see that trend and concept ni is a very general topic. Courses. Rekreasi, leisure and recreation ni adalah more on physical ataupun psychomotor punya courses. Okay. So kalau you nak play safe, you ambil je concept and trend, betul? Tapi I'm not sure, maybe you have your own expectation kenapa you pilih this course. So I will make sure that you can enjoy this course by having a field work or field trip punya activity. Unfortunately, because due to COVID and the pandemic ni, sometimes we have to restrict our activity, and I have to modify or I have to rearrange the structure of this course. Therefore, in order to make sure that you have the field trip, I have to ask you to do your own activity and your own trip, okay, for the recreation. But if we have the opportunity next year lah, probably by January next year, kalau you can come back to the university and we have the normal lifestyle as before this, saya rasa maybe we can have another 2 or 3 activity lah, like hiking ke sebab you know dekat Kelantan sekarang there is a lot of recreation or outdoor activity. Okay, dah banyak dah bukit-bukit ditarah untuk orang buat aktiviti rekreasi. Okay, macam di Bukit Panau, Tanah Merah, di Jeli, di Gua Musang. So there are a lot of activity rekreasi available in Kelantan itself. Okay, so we will make sure lah. I hope that if you can do aktiviti rekreasi in the campus nanti, but you have to make sure that sepanjang you duduk kat rumah ni, ask lah your family ke, your niece ke, your brother, sister ke, friends ke, do your own activity rekreasi. Okay, in your hometown ke, surrounding area you. Okay, alright, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the last topic, the career and the pathway. Okay, let me share with you the career ni. Basically, for your information, di UMK ni kita hanya offer satu kursus saja, what we call it leisure and recreation management. Okay, but if you Google online, basically all over the world, most likely the US, the UK for example, they already offer recreation ni sebagai satu program. Okay, macam you ijazah sarjana keusahawanan pelancongan. But in US, basically they have their own degree in recreation management. Okay, rekreasi punya, pengurusan rekreasi. But these students yang ambil that program ni, dia fokus more on how to manage parks. Okay, how to manage recreation activity. So therefore, when we talk about career in leisure and recreation ni, akan ada professor senior leadership, akan ada consultant, akan ada coordinator, because this career ni, this position ni come from higher education punya evaluation. Maksudnya orang yang jadi coach, orang yang jadi instructor, orang yang jadi consultant ni, basically dia memang purposely ambil program in recreation ataupun park management. Di Malaysia ni kita tak ada lagi setakat ni yang fokus or rely 100% on recreation. Di UUM kita diorang hanya offer tourism management juga, Bachelor of Tourism Management, that is one courses under park bawah recreation. Di UPM kita ada UPM ada offer School of Forestry, alam sekitar, but they also offer recreation as one of their courses. Okay, so maksudnya dekat Malaysia ni sekarang the issue, the ideas of recreation ni become viral topic lah sekarang. Dia akan nampak lebih banyak aktiviti-aktiviti rekreasi dan tempat-tempat rekreasi dibangunkan for the sake of those who are really enjoy or involved in outdoor activity. Okay, so basically ini antara elemen-elemen ataupun career yang tersedia di dalam bidang ni. Another bidang yang you can get involved kalau you keluar, in fact kalau you nak go for LI for example, latihan industri, or SIAP for example, you can go to any of the recreation providers. For example, nowadays we have Skytrack. Okay, siapa yang berada di sekitar Penang, Melaka, Langkawi, even Kuala Lumpur, Skytrack ni, company ni dia dah ada 4 cawangan. The biggest Skytrack di Malaysia lah. Sekarang ni beroperasi di Langkawi, Skytrack Langkawi, also Skytrack in Penang, juga Skytrack di Melaka, dan the latest one is Skytrack di, saya rasa di area Hulu Selangor, Selangor lah, di area Selangor, okay? KL ataupun Selangor. So this Skytrack ni adalah among organisation ataupun company yang offer the biggest ataupun the highest level of outdoor rekreasi. Okay, jadi kalau you betul-betul berminat in this industri ataupun bidang, bila you nak pergi ke LI nanti ataupun you nak go for maybe some of you apply for apprentice 3U1I, then you can go for Skytrack punya company. Okay, sebab Skytrack ni dia offer the highest level of outdoor ataupun adventurous activity. Other than that, saya rasa you can focus on forestry. I mean bawah Jabatan Perhilitan. Okay, so bawah Jabatan Perhilitan there are natural forest, apa dipanggil ni, preserved natural forest, ataupun most of the states they offer taman negara. Okay, product from taman negara. So kita ada taman negara Kuala Koh, Gua Musa, kita ada taman negara Endang, okay, di Pahang, kita ada taman negara Jerantut, also in Pahang. Okay, kita ada taman negara di Penang, okay, taman negara mana lagi? Not all states have taman negara, but basically bila you involve dalam taman negara punya bidang ni, you can be a guide, okay, ataupun kita panggil guide, okay, pemandu alam semula jadi, pemandu pelancong alam semula jadi. So this is all the activity ataupun career that you can involve in relation. Okay. In leisure ni is a broad and diverse, okay, satu benda yang luas dan pelbagai. Dia provide you a host of opportunity, peluang dan pathway for those just beginning their career journey. Okay, so pendek kata, what I can say is kalau you involve in outdoor activity, leisure activity, okay, adventure activity, you still have your own career. Even you can be an entrepreneur as well. Okay, you boleh jual peralatan-peralatan outdoor. You boleh jadi consultant. You boleh jadi a group of people who are arrange the activity as well. Okay, so this is what we call it a broad and diverse punya industry when we talk about leisure and recreation as well as outdoor and adventurous activity. Okay, so there is always an opportunity to a better person in this industry. Sebab tu kalau you tengok dalam slide number 34, kita ada early career in recreation, kita ada mid career and kita ada late career. So as for you, I think you can go directly with a mid career after you graduate from degree. Okay, because level degree ni basically dah level professional. But if you do really interested in this industry, recreation ni, kalau you nak go further for your LI and etc., come and ask, we can discuss and I will advise you which part or which area that you can involve. Alright? So I think we have, we come to the end of our session. It is a brainstorming session which we already discussed 3 main topics just now. The definitions and the interrelationship between leisure, recreation and park. We also discussed on the concept and trend, contemporary concept of leisure, recreation and park. And lastly, we discuss on the career path in leisure and recreation. Okay, before we end our session, do you have any question or do you have any issue, something that you would like to share? We will recap this session next week. So I will call a few people, students from class A and class B. Then you have to explain again what we already discussed this week topics. All right. Yeah. Selangor. Okay. Okay. Just little bit the what we call it, our experience lah, Malaysian punya experience when we have this pandemic. Okay, COVID punya pandemic. Okay, basically masa kita start dengan PKP last time, yes, definitely everybody are not restricted for any outdoor activity. Okay, so semua activity outdoor been closed, and there is no outdoor activity pun, okay, allowed during PKP. But after PKP, I think PKPB and PKPP, the industry, adventure, recreation and adventure punya group of people, association, they sit down and come up with SOP, a very critical SOP. Okay, during this pandemic, what is the SOP for hiking, for example? What is the SOP for caving, for example? What is SOP for camping? Okay, and etc. So they come up with a proper SOP for each of the category. Okay, kalau you nak buat aktiviti air, okay, this is the SOP. Kalau you nak buat aktiviti hiking ataupun outdoor punya, yang adventurous punya, this is an SOP. So back to your question just now, Selangor, even Sabah is considered as a PKPB punya area, okay, red area, but they still can do recreation activity. Okay, but with a proper punya procedure. But most likely, I think since the numbers of cases to gradually increase in Sabah and Selangor, they decide to slow down the activity. They did not restrict the activity recreasi, but they just slow down and try to minimize. Okay, it is advisable for all operator, recreation operator, as well as local people to avoid from having recreation activity. Okay, dia bukan tutup unlike di PKP dulu. Kalau PKP, yes, is all are closed down. But untuk PKPB ni, advisable dia adalah untuk tidak dijalankan aktiviti rekreasi. Okay, is there any other questions? Right. No. One group ada 8 orang, 4 teams, 4 tema. Okay, 4 tema. Jadi 2 orang akan ambil tema 1, 2 orang tema 2, 2 orang tema 3 and 2 orang tema 4. What activity is depend on your group. Betul. Setiap tema mesti 2 aktiviti yang berbeza. Okay, I think you can Google. Basically, it's based on your creativity lah. How you try to send the message, okay, through recreation activity. Contohnya, saya bagi you contoh. You choose the kayak, for example. Try to find something that nearest to your areas, because my concern is I don't want you to spend your time, I don't want you to spend your money untuk you travel. Okay, so basically you just find out surrounding your area. Contohnya kalau you kata at your area tu ada apa, jungle trekking, you can do a jungle trekking, or even you ada waterfall, but not necessary for you to have apa, swimming at the waterfall je. Tapi in between of that activity tu, sebelum you nak sampai ke waterfall tu, there might be another activity that you can do. Okay, so this is something that you have to explain ataupun you have to share. Okay, what are the activities available at that particular places yang you pilih tu. Right? Kalau you kata you pilih kayak, for example, then you have to show, you have to share what is the basic procedure ataupun rules and regulation before you can do a kayak, for example. So maksudnya you tak ada dah terus tunjukkan jump to the activity tu terus, but you start slowly the introduction of the activity and how to do that activity. So at the end of that activity tu, apa yang you dapat from that activity? Right? Is it clear? Saya nampak semua orang khusyuk duduk tengok je, tapi saya tak tahu you faham ke tak? Yep. I would prefer you to have a game with your friends ataupun your family, or depends on your area lah, but not as a online you alone. Okay, get a social contacts with people. Okay, kalau untuk soft activity, similar to traditional game tadi, kelas tu okay, you dengar tak soalan kalau kelas A tanya?
Tak dengar.
Oh, you tak dengar?
Madam.
Kalau kelas,
Tak dengar, doktor.
kalau kelas B tanya pun kelas A tak dengar Oh, okay. So saya repeat sikit lah. Tapi tadi apa yang saya explain you dengar kan? Kelas A dengan kelas B kan?
Dengar.
Okay. Tadi dia tanya, kalau traditional games and soft games tu especially, saya tak nak you focus only one or two activity. Right? Maksudnya kalau you choose traditional game, you can play that activity tu in a social contact. Maksudnya with your family ke with your friends. Okay, maksudnya ada 2-3 orang yang involved that particular activity. Same goes to the soft activity. For example, brain games ataupun you nak main chess. Okay, ataupun you nak main apa lagi yang soft activity, dam. Alright? So maksudnya you can do 2 or 3 activity either simultaneously ataupun apa dipanggil ni in connection ataupun interrelationship. But as I mentioned just now lah, you start with the introduction. What are the activity tu? Bagaimana how the activity has been introduced, for example. Okay, then macam mana nak play that game dan sebagainya. Jadi I know that I give you to I think not more than 5 minutes, right? The video. Kalau saya pun lupa. Sebab banyak sangat. So you based on the time frame yang saya bagi itulah. Right? Anything? Any question? Yep. Aktiviti apa? Piknik. Okay, picnic not consider as a water activity unless kalau you pergi piknik tapi you buat water abseiling for example. Ataupun you pergi piknik tapi you buat jungle trekking for example. Then can be considered, tapi picnic itself cannot be considered as a recreation activity tu. Is a part of additional elements je lah dalam aktiviti you. Okay? Right, class B okay? Yep.
Doktor,
saya ada soalan.
Kejap, apa dia tadi? Saya tak jelas.
Kalau berkebun kategori tim tu,
Okay, kejap. Kelas B, kejap. Siapa ni? Yus Malina You tanya. Okay, apa dia Yus Malina? Okay, sekarang ni as we discussed just now, you can do indoor or outdoor activity. Depends. Depends on your environment you lah. Because sometimes kalau you nak buat at that time tu hujan ataupun memang musim terkujur ataupun banjir, you cannot do the activity, then you go for indoor. Right? It can be both. Okay, just now berkebun boleh ke? Okay, berkebun yes, is part of recreation activity. Okay, gardening. But how far you can elaborate the effect of gardening to in your lifestyle. Okay, but gardening is considered as a soft activity. Right? Class B? Ada apa-apa question? Yes, siapa ni? Tak dengar lah apa? Brain game, okay.
Kurang jelas.
Oh, okay. Brain games ni dia more on thinking, dia punya problem solving punya activity ataupun is more on how you use your brain, okay, to define ataupun to elaborate about your activity. Okay, contoh brain game ni adalah you buat aktiviti some sort of team building lah, okay, tapi indoor punya. Contohnya you buat aktiviti yang memerlukan tahap pemikiran. You bagi satu aktiviti tu bola ke for example, and how to make sure that the balls to get in the bottle for example, or any activity that required a brain to digest. Okay, kalau first aid macam dengan aktiviti yang soft, for example first aid, then you have to bring a professional punya people ataupun you have to invite people who have the expertise to show how to make a first aid punya prosedur. Okay, bila berlakunya kecemasan, nak buat starting from first aid punya elements, apa yang ada dalam first aid kits, and how to do the emergency punya recovery. Kalau sesak nafas macam mana nak buat, kalau berlakunya emergency, pada masa emergency tu then apa prosedur first aid yang perlu dilakukan. Okay, you cannot simply, that's why kalau macam saya tunjuk gambar itu first aid ni kita buat masa dengan APM Angkatan Pertahanan Malaysia. Kita juga jemput Jabatan Bomber untuk buat demonstrasi. Itu aktiviti-aktiviti yang kita buat. Tapi in your case ni kalau you rasa benda tu tak fleksibel untuk you buat, then you can choose other activity. Okay, worst come worst, saya allow you to change your activity. For example, you rasa macam soft activity tu doesn't challenge yourself. Okay, so maksudnya in your group members tu, you boleh pilih at least 3 tema. Okay, maksudnya you don't have to have 4 tema, but you only choose 3 main dia. Kalau you nak you tak boleh kurang daripada 3. Jadi kalau you pilih 3 tema, so at least 3 orang buat tema 1, 3 orang buat tema 2, 2 orang buat tema 3, for example. Okay, so you can choose and discuss between your group members. Ada tadi tanya soalan apa lagi? Boleh buat swimming dekat kolam renang anak buah tak? Kau rasa kau boleh masuk ke dalam swimming pool tu? Okay, ada yang tanya cycling tu dikategorikan sebagai sport activity. Yes, you can do cycling activity as well. Okay, even you can have your virtual run basically. Okay, ataupun apa marathon ke, it's up to you. Okay, but you have to have a social networking lah. At least you pergilah berdua ataupun bertiga, right? Bila you nak buat sesuatu aktiviti tu. Kalau you buat traditional games, you can bring in the students untuk you buat aktiviti traditional game. Main batu seremban, main apa lagi traditional game, you can invite a students untuk join you punya, you organize the event tu, the activity tu, and then student yang main pun boleh. Boleh, tapi as a soft activity. That's why saya kata kalau you buat Monopoly, you mix dengan another activity juga supaya dia nampak balance activity tu, dia tak jadi satu activity. Main congkak, baling selipar. Main guli tu melampau lah. Main congkak tu boleh terima. Okay, mobile gaming ni is a e-sport. Saya boleh consider dia sebagai e-sport lah. Tapi dia lebih kepada consider as a soft activity sebab you don't, it's not required a physical movement, right? Kecuali tangan you je lah, you duduk main gini. Betul eh? Jadi e-game ni can be considered as a soft activity. Berjogging berdua boleh. Main apa? Tak ada. Gym. Oh, gym tu consider under sport, yes. Consider bawah sport. Tapi all the elements dalam gym kena ada lah. Bukannya you berlari dalam atas apa nama tu? Treadmill je. Okay, tapi you have to have at least 2 or 3 elements lah dalam tu. PS4, PC game, yes, consider as a soft activity. Okay, lagi? Semua tanya pasal game je. Topik malam ni korang faham ke tak?
Doktor nak tanya.
Doktor nak tanya juga.
Yang pasal time.
Pasal apa? Surani, apa dia?
Yang pasal video tu 2 hingga 5 minit.
Okay.
Yang 2 hingga 5 minit tu untuk satu term je ke ataupun dah semua dah gabung, semua term dah gabung tu untuk 2 hingga 5 minit?
Okay. Setiap seorang perlu prepare 2 to 5 minute your own video based on your own activity. Yang tu clear eh? Okay, jadi seorang perlu buat 2 to 5 minit untuk tunjukkan you punya aktiviti. Untuk yang group project tu, group reports tu, the combination of all video dalam group members tu tadi, okay, between 10 to 20 minutes tu adalah combination of all video yang you all buat among your group members. Tapi it's not necessary for you to combine seorang ni 3 minit, ni 3 minit ke apa ke, no. Is a combination of the whole idea of the whole activity dalam you punya group tu. You come up with a video, documentary punya video ataupun kalau sekarang ni orang panggil vlog ataupun adventure log. Okay, jadi you ceritalah tentang based on your creativity. Kalau macam sekarang ni orang boleh buat choir, duduk kat rumah ni orang ni boleh nyanyi, sambung yang ni, sambung yang tu, sambung yang tu. So it's based on your creativity. Okay, that one is considered as a group project, 10 to 20 minutes punya video. Is it clear? Okay, kelas B ada apa-apa nak tanya lagi?
Doktor nak tanya.
Ya.
Family day kan kita boleh tahu kita boleh buat banyak aktiviti macam soft ataupun adventure activity. Boleh ke dalam one person tu buat 2 aktiviti tu untuk buat family day?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Buat 2 ke 3 ke tak ada masalah. Janji kena lebih daripada 1 kena ada.
Oh, okey. Terima kasih doktor.
Kalau you rasa you nak buat 4 aktiviti pun terpulang. Janji saya nak video tu 2 hingga ke 5 minit seorang. Then maybe you can add on in your group punya video. Okay, documentary punya video.
Doktor.
Ya, sekejap. Siapa nak tanya? Nisha? Okay, Nisha.
Bukan saya.
Tadi siapa tanya? Amir. Okay, Amir, soalan apa?
Origami boleh tak, doktor?
Okay, itu boleh consider as a soft tapi must have a combination of other activity juga. Okay, tadi Nisha tanya pasal assignment. Okay, saya lupa, sepatutnya saya explain pasal individual assignment kan this week. Tapi saya rasa saya tak masukkan lagi e-learning. Okay, macam ni. Saya akan buatkan a short video, the instruction of individual assignment dan saya akan make this by next week lah. Saya akan upload all the necessary things for your individual punya assignment. Okay, group report tadi tu yang combination of the video tadi. Okay, video-video you yang 10 ke 20 minit tadi tu adalah group reports. Untuk group project tu adalah individual punya task tadi according to your group punya tema tadi. So setiap kumpulan akan hantar 2 hingga 5 minit video based on your group punya members tadi lah. And then combination of all activity yang you buat tu, you hantar group report dalam bentuk video juga, 10 to 20 minutes punya documentary punya video. Okay. Individual assignment saya akan bagi by next week, Sunday ataupun Monday next week. Saya akan masukkan sekali dengan format dia. Okay, while we are waiting for another question from group A and group B, saya dah pun buka link untuk what we call it Google Form. Okay, saya dah bagi link Google Form ni dalam Telegram. Okay, so you can fill up the forms dalam Google Form ni. saya akan tutup Google Form ni 30 minutes from now, which sekarang 9.45, 10 suku. Okay, 10.15 saya akan tutup untuk Google Form punya attendance. Alright, before we end our session, any last question? Leave your name and matric number dekat chat room tu, nanti saya akan key in secara manual.
Doktor nak tanya doktor. Okeylah, tak jadi.
Kenapa pula tak ada nak buat benda lain? Kan adventure banyak. Hiking boleh, caving boleh. Tempat hiking tu tak ada ni ke? Tak ada jungle trekking. Campfire. Okay, siapa yang tak boleh scan QR code, saya ada send QR code dalam group. Tolong scan sekarang sambil saya bagi masa 10 minit je untuk scan QR code dan 30 minit untuk sign attendance. Okay, ada apa-apa lagi soalan? Tak ada apa-apa? Okay, so kalau tak orienteering ni is some sort of treasure hunt basically. Okay, treasure hunt pun you boleh buat, but orienteering ni you cari macam treasure hunt tapi you menggunakan kompas. You know what is kompas? Okay, something yang you kena baca dia punya arah tu. 45 degree ke 70 degree ke, then you akan cari point dia according to compass punya. Okay, lagi lain-lain ada lagi? Saya rasa semua orang tengah khusyuk isi Google Form. Please do write your comments, your respon dekat dalam Google Form tu. Honestly lah, from yourself, from your side. If I need to improve anything, just let me know in Google Form. Okay. With that, I enjoy class tonight with you. Sorry for any weaknesses on behalf of myself. Connection to is out of my control. So I hope that next week we have a better environment and condition for our lecture. Okay, with that, thank you so much. If you have any question, just let me know at any time while we have a discussion for tomorrow night. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.